Ba-dum-bum-bum, ba-dum-bum. You are live, please do not swear. Late chit nat chat chat. Got your teeth in, Lindsay. It's the late chit chat. And who's gonna join? And if Yo-Yo's gonna join us. She had a long day out, Yo-Yo, today. She's been to Liverpool. Been sightseeing. Good evening. Hey, Kelly, how are you? I hope you're well. I've slept for 4 hours, so I'm sort of like wide awake. So I thought I should come on and do a live. Normally do a live though on a Tuesday night, don't I, about this time. So I thought, oh, I'll go live. I didn't even realise the time. So good evening, everybody. Good morning for those of you across the waters. And I hope everybody's well. Evening, Denise. How are you, my lovely? So I thought, why not call it Seeking the Truth? So we're going to talk a little bit on paranormal-ish, let's say. But yeah, let's see what everybody thinks and what everybody wonders. Good evening, Lana. I'm going to phone you, Lana, but I know if I phone you, I'd be on phone for about 4 hours. So I thought I best not phone you just yet. I thought I best do my live first. Evening, Karen. How are you? Oh, good. I'm glad you're good, Denise, my lovely. So, seeking the truth. Does anybody ever think we will find the truth about the afterlife? Hey, Joyce, my sweets. Hey, Kerry. So, yeah, does anybody think we'll ever find out the truth if there's an afterlife or not? Or is it always going to be a mystery for people and teams to continue in 100 years to still explore? Or do you think we will get answers? Hey, Bubbles, hope you will, my lovely. So what are your thoughts? What do you think? Lana, if you're not doing no, I can send you a link if you want to come on and join. It's up to you, sweets. But yeah, so what's everybody's thoughts on that? I'll be up. I know you'll be up. Oh my goodness, you're wide awake, lady. It's Fred hot in this house. Not till we're in it. Do you really think that, Denise? Do you think that we'll never? Do you think the proof that we're going to find, or what we think is proof? Do you ever think that that I don't know, but yeah, not till we're in it. That's a really good answer. And lost for words, Denise. I look like a zombie. That's all right. I look like a zombie. I've slapped the hair back, and it's interesting though, isn't it, Denise? Because not till we're in it. I mean, how many of us have? Do we believe that we've communicated with those in the afterlife? I mean, we've got paranormal teams out there galore that we all work differently, which is brilliant. The fact that we all work differently, because that's what makes us all unique in our own way. But we've caught things that we can't explain, shadows, the figures running. There's a couple of others. I'm not going to mention names because there's too many to mention, and it's not fair if you just mention certain teams, but they've caught, because then I'm dissing others, and I don't want to do that. So, but these teams out there that have caught phenomenal evidence. I'd like to think we could, but don't think we will. Very true, Joyce. Very true. So, being this evidence that we're catching, is that proof enough for me? I mean, what do you guys think? Because for me, it's like having a taste. That evening, Jill, he's gone to bed, sweets. He's gone to bed. You'll see that light go out in a minute, actually, once he's gone upstairs. Just finishing off in kitchen. But yeah, or I might leave that light on for when I go up to bed. I don't know. He might have already gone up and not shouted good night to me as he's gone upstairs. I'm not quite sure, Jill, but he's not too bad. His foot's still swollen. His toes don't touch the floor. His foot's that swollen underneath that his toes aren't touching the floor, if that makes sense. Evening, Nanny Lynn. So it's still very badly swollen. So Yeah, telling him to rest it up is like he's like talking to a dog and saying, don't, I don't know, don't chase a cat or something daft like that, or telling a bird not to poop, because he just doesn't listen to me, Jill. He doesn't listen. He's still, and he'll say, I'm only doing this, or I'm only doing that. And I know he's got stuff to do, and I know, but, he was doing something last Thursday at he goes to this fitness thing on a Thursday afternoon, and while he was there, they were like playing this football game. Evening, Mark. They were playing this football game, and as he's gone to set off running, he felt like somebody had hit him in the lower part of his leg with like a chair. So then he felt a shooting pain run straight up his leg. Evening, Cliff. So he thinks that it's his tendons in his foot, but his ankle is all black and swollen. The bottom part of his leg is swollen, and his underneath the foot itself swollen. So that's what John's done. So yeah, but he doesn't. Evening, Diane, my lovely. So yes, he's resting. So I'd like to think we could, but don't think we will. So the evidence that us paranormal teams have caught, then, that's just the tip of the iceberg. So when will enough evidence be enough? When do you think that we'll be satisfied that there is an afterlife? So because everybody's skeptical to a range. Or go on, go to bed with your dad. Everybody's skeptical to a certain. No, Kerry's not been to get checked out. Doesn't listen. Everybody's skeptical to a certain point of view. Even I'm skeptical on certain things when we're out on an investigation. So like certain noises that you can hear in certain buildings. I think sometimes I'll be like, that's going to be wind outside, or it could be the breeze, depending on the state of the building. There will be, I've seen things, but to get to know it fully, well, when we're there in a seat. Yes. I think, Denise, I truly believe that you're right. I think we get a glimpse. Like you said, you've seen things, but to get to know fully what the afterlife is like, do you think that they can tell us? Do you think? All right, Doc. All right, love you, sweet dreams. So evening, Erkia Bess, hello, long time no see. So do you think that? Let me think what I can. I've got the words in my head, but they're just not coming out in words that I can sort of like make sense of, if that makes sense. Blooming Facebook froze to me. Oh, Nanny Lynn, it's shocking. It's shocking. I don't know what's up with everything at the minute. Everything seems to be freezing. I think we will discover more in the future for sure. So do you think then, Lana, that we'll get more interaction? Because do you think they actually want to communicate with us is the thing. We go to all these places, and I know that a lot of people go to a lot of people go to buildings that they'll say is haunted, or it's whatever, it's spooky buildings and stuff like this. But in sense, everywhere we walk and every place we go has history. And evening, Patricia. I always doubt it, but I've told people things that I wouldn't know. See, it's interesting, isn't it, Kerry, when you can actually tell that, when you can do things like that. Yeah, it's like, do you think the energies want to communicate, want to tell us what's happening? Or do you think it is right that they can't tell us that much, because if they told us too much, more people would just want to go, because obviously if it's as peaceful as, sorry, I spat then. If it's as peaceful as what it's meant to be, then no worries, Yo-Yo, you're well, my sweets. Yeah, I wonder if they want to communicate with us. But for me, everywhere has got history. So everywhere for me has a story to tell. So I don't think that any place is more haunted than the next. So you could be walking down a rickety old country lane, and there will be history to that piece of land that you're walking on. These houses were built. I think where we are, I think were built around 1940s. Or something like that. But the history on the land before the houses were born, built, there was history, things happened. And is it the stone tape theory? I might be getting that confused. I've always believed that we are only allowed to know so much, but not everything. Yes. Yeah, I do think they want to connect, but I think they find it hard. Do you know, it's got to, even Beth, it's got to be difficult though, hasn't it? I mean, when you think about it, there is history on your doorstep. There is Cliff. And where there's history, there is a story. There is somebody's story who lived or worked these lands. That it could have even been somebody that were building the house that the history links back to. So when you hear people saying, I mean, you hear a lot of people are against going investigating in cemeteries, in graveyards, or whichever one you want to call them. A lot of people don't like that, and they'll go, oh, well, it's disrespectful and everything else. I understand that and I get that, but on the sense, I know. See, my dad were buried, and he's in cemetery. There is an oldest part to the cemetery, and then there's the part where, I mean, my dad's been gone now a long time, but there's like an old part to the cemetery. For me, I don't think it's disrespectful going to the old parts of the cemetery, because you're talking. There might be a lady or a gentleman that did something big in history in their grave. Their energy is not, they're not going to be there. But obviously, we might not be able to go to a place where they would come back to. So that's why I like the cemeteries. Plus, I like the eeriness, and I find it very calming in a cemetery. I don't think it's a nasty place. It is a sacred place, so you do have to be very respectful when you're going in to do cemeteries. But I like the cemetery. I like doing the cemeteries just because I like the peaceful feeling that you get there. I like the protective energy that you get in there as well. I think we will interact more freely. We are evolving more spiritually. There are lots of babies being born on the earth plane that are connected more closely to spirit. Do you know? Very true, Lana. Very true. I mean, if you think about it, as we're evolving, like Lana's just said, we're evolving. So our spiritual paths are changing. So religion isn't what it used to be. So because we're all going down a different belief path, maybe our children that are yet to be born or being born now into this world, their spiritual journey isn't going to be of a fixed religion. Well, in more cases, let's say, because I think that strictness of the religion will always be there for some, but more people are starting to open up more on a spiritual level. So evening soldier. So will the next generation of children, will they be more open to spirit, whereas though we were more closed down when we were born? A lot of families that when we were born, my nana were a Catholic. I think my mum's mum were Christian. So you got sort of like a mixture of religions coming in there, so different beliefs and everything else. It is live now, soldier. I am live. I saw two figures up my garden, dressed in the brown and white clothes, and there is a spirit girl in my house, and I see it a lot. Do you know? And Denise, do you feel any fear when you see these, or do you think that again they're just popping in to nosy at what's happening to the land now? Do you think? How do you feel when these energies come around you? Not necessarily on a spook or on a scared sense, but do you get any information of how they're feeling? Greelings, my grandson is open, and my girls. That's brilliant, Denise. And it's such a relief when you hear people saying that their grandchildren are open and your children are open as well, because for me, it all comes into that. For me, I prefer the spirituality sense to a religious sense, and I hope I don't upset anybody by saying that. Yes, they are needed to change old patterns of thinking. Do you know, I'd love to come back in 100 years, or maybe 200 years. I'd love to come back and remember the conversation we're having now and look at how different things have changed on that spiritual level. Hey, Scotty! Evening, Andrea. I remember as a child playing in an old abandoned cottage waiting for demolition. New homes were built on the land, so people's lives must be interwoven on the land. I agree, Andrea. I think it's, do you know, in Sheffield, there was a place called, oh my goodness, I forgot the name of the place. It was a mental hospital in Sheffield. Come on, guys, who's in Sheffield? My nose is running. I can see and feel my daddy and granny in my home. Oh, bless you, Jill. That's lovely, though, to have that feeling. There were a mental asylum in Sheffield. Come on, Scotty, what were it called? Weren't Middlesbrough? Middlewood. Do you know? Middlewood. I bet that's John telling me to shut up because I'm shouting. There was a place called Middlewood, and it wasn't a very nice place, and they've actually knocked it down now. The only thing that's living, the only thing that's still standing is a little church, I think it is. Now, you're not supposed to go in there. It is literally like fixed off. There is a way to get in it, but when you found in it, they're not very happy with you. One, I think it's because it's derelict, and two, because I think what it represents in total, to be fair. But one of my aunties, she was in Middlewood. She was in and out of Middlewood. The first time she got put in by her husband, and then the second, third, fourth, and fifth time, she actually put herself in, and she underwent certain treatments in there. She had the electrodes or whatever it was on the head. She actually agreed to that. She signed papers to say they could do it. And obviously it wasn't, like I say, it wasn't the best of places, but they've built a housing estate on that, where they've knocked that down. Now, I know for a fact that the energy of that place and what took part in that in them buildings, because there were worse things that happened that would have been probably kept quiet from us, because family didn't want us to know what actually went off to my auntie and my uncle. But it's like, evening, Paul. So the history there, so you can understand why people still want to go to visit. But obviously it's a housing estate. But I wonder if anybody in that housing estate ever feels or whether it attracts different mood swings. People you say, do you know, I got told that from when I was about 3. You'll end up in Middlewood, you. It was a standing joke in our family, but it literally was a standing joke, because we have had family members that did actually go into Middlewood. So Ellie Lively, been a while. Hope you're all well, hosts and viewers. Oh, evening, Katie, my lovely. I hope you're well, my sweet. So so for me, you sort of like, so the energies of people past, it's got to be present. I mean, who does it now? When you walk into a place or a building and you sort of like feel a dip in, like, I don't know, like your mood can change slightly. Ella, sorry. Your mood could change slightly, or you notice, I don't know, you might do the staring thing, and you might see people's faces changing when you sat there. And I don't know, there's just so many strange things. But like I said, will we ever get to the truth? You know, will the truth come? Will it have been a mistake that somebody does? Do you think? Do you think science will play a bigger part in the future? Or, like Lana says, do you think that it'll be the younger generation that will be more adaptable to communicate, because they're going to be more open to the energies that are around us, as was Mapley Hospital in Nottingham always told was going to be sent there. Our neighbour's daughter lives in one of the flats built on Middlewell. We'll ask her, oh, wow, Andrea, that'd be amazing. Even, do you know, it's not even about seeing anything or like, I'm not talking about seeing things or feeling spooky. I'm just on about, does she ever feel like the change in temperature? She's like maybe walking from car park to where her flat is, or it's more like looking into the energy changes that I think that I'd be interested in for around that. That'd be interesting, Andrea. Look forward to hearing from you, my lovely. Oh my God, part of Middlewood Asylum is now a nursery, not even knocked down and rebuilt, part of the original building. Wow. Wow. Do you know, that just sends shivers down my spine, Scotty, that. It really does. But yeah, do you think when you come into a building, energy changes, or do you feel drawn, attracted to particular buildings? I think when you can walk into a building, I think the energy can change. It's like let's say it's like walking into a room full of living people. You walk into a room, and say if it's a click, there's a click happening. You walk into a room, and you personally will automatically sense, wow, they're all staring at me. They're all looking at me for. Do you know? And you can feel animosity changing. If you can hear a couple arguing, that energy field that they're giving off, you can feel them energy fields, and you think, oh my God, this is going to kick off soon. It's going to kick off. Do you know? And this is where you're experiencing your energy, things coming into your energy field, your aura field. Is it your aura or is it your energy field? But you know which one I mean. But yeah, sometimes I think you can be drawn to particular buildings, and I think sometimes you can speak to some people and they'll say it will like reincarnation. They've got drawn to that because they might remember things from the past, or it might be that they've done a reincarnation and that building is something that they've been dreaming about, and now they know why. Do you know? It's really good, really weird how it all works. My late mother could walk into a building and pick up a present. Yeah, do you know? I think we all could. I think we all can, if we're in tuned. A lot of us aren't in tuned because his own lives aren't balanced, or we're not balanced because our lives are so hectic compared to what they would have been years and years and years ago. People are more money matters these days, and I think that's a big issue. I get like I've been there before when I walk into a stranger place. Yeah, you possibly have, Denise. You possibly could have been there. You're Bex. You possibly could have been there, Bex. Maybe not in this lifetime that you remember. It could be as a child that your parents took you there, and it's something that you remembered. But it could also link back to going back to a previous life, and it might not be that building, but the place, the area. I was gobsmacked when I walked onto the platform of the Spiritualist Centre. The platform is in the same room as the auditorium, and was holding a fabulously warm energy, and I loved it. Exactly, you know, your body's picking up on that energy. I remember visiting a stately home and going up a staircase and suddenly becoming totally frozen. It was very weird. At the time, I didn't have any idea of the paranormal. Wow, what an experience that is, Andrea. What an experience. I wonder what. I mean, it's going to be difficult for you now to like think back to actually think you'll remember the time. But I wonder whether you can, if you can remember what were going through your head at that time when you froze. Was it because it was just something that happened and you just froze in that moment? Was there a sense of excitement? Was there a sense of like a warning sign? Was it a sense of like a deja vu thing? You know, it's always interesting to keep a journal with you, keep a book with you. So if ever you chilling with Minty, if ever you have these experiences when you're out, write them down, because you know in that moment it might not make any sense to you whatsoever, but you know when you get home and then you can look back at history, you'll be able to see it in the history, or maybe able to pick it up in the history on something that happened around the area, and that's why you were frozen in that moment. you know. I just find it so fascinating. But yeah, so where would one of, so if you could get the ultimate definitive truth from the afterlife, what would it be and why? So I'll wait for some of you to type them in, and then I'm going to put them up on screen. If you don't want it on screen, just put no screen, and then I know not to click on it. Or if I do, it's accidental. But let's see what would be your ultimate. This is it. When I was younger, I used to go to Blackpool, and I always had the feeling I'd been there and done the things before. Family used to laugh. I got a feeling like I used to live there. So, Kerry, for you, maybe going down a past life regression, maybe looking. See, if you can, I don't know how it works. Paul might be able to put some more in chat, but for me, if there's a name that you could come up with to link you to that, maybe link back to that, try and find that name, or try and if you can describe things that used to be there, maybe look back in history and see whether you can see what used to be, find what you can see. And maybe on a past life regression, you may get a name and you might be able to link that name back. But it's so interesting. I can remember I really can't remember, just the experience sticks in my memory. If it happened now, I would be more aware, definitely. White Rose has a many message through Blues Peace speaker, giving them warnings, including the earth. So I would say voice for you. Slippery when wet. Soldier, slippery when wet. I hope you're singing a song there. I would like to be shown where you go and see other people. Love to go back now as open and understand more, definitely. So yeah, I mean, to go back and to go and see other people. See, I don't think when we cross over, we physically see other people. I personally don't think that we do. What I think we do is our energy finds the other person, and by energy, our energy connects, and it will give us that feeling of knowing, if that makes sense to you. I don't think we physically see the people. I don't think for 1 minute that when I cross over, I'm going to be going and sitting on my dad's knee and we're going to be reading stories. But I do think that my energy would link me in to my dad's energy, and I would know it as my dad's energy because that's the energy that I know from. Maybe the imagination could work even over there, but for me, I think it's more the energy connection that we're going to get once we cross over. I don't think it's going to be a physical one like it is here. When my mum came back, when she passed away, she came back to 3 of her children to let us know she was okay. We'd only got out of the hospital, and she came back to each and every one of us. Oh, bless you. Do you know, Katie, I'd like to think I would. I always think, now whether it happens, it'd be interesting to see that if anything happens to me, it'd be interesting to see whether, because what I want to do is I want to appear. I want to astral travel to all 3 of my kids, grandkids, and I want to astral travel to them, and I want them to just see me smiling, and that's it. That's the last picture that I want them to see. So in my head, I plan this out, as daft and stupid as it may sound. I plan it out. So in my brain, I imagine once I've passed, me showing myself to children, to grandchildren, to partners, to my mom, to me, to everybody who needs to see that I'm okay. And I imagine him seeing me. So, like, say, I don't know, Michael might have been at school, let's say. I mean, obviously, he's left school now, so it's a funny scenario. But Michael were at school. If I'd have passed while he were at school, I'd like to have seen him, to see me stood in the doorway and just smiling at him. And then I'd just disappear, do you know? And I think that's where I'd like to, when I pass. Would that be considered your third eye when you feel stuff? I don't think it's your third eye when you feel stuff. I think it's more your energy field in your aura. Your third eye, I think for me, I think the third eye is more for, being open to things. But I think to feel things, I think it's more the connection that comes into your energy field. Obviously, your third eye plays a part, but to me, it's the energy. We've all got an energy field, and I don't know if there's an experiment we did in church. It doesn't sound stupid at all. Thank you, Bex. I've seen and heard so many things to be absolutely sure there is an afterlife. Yeah. It's all senses, sense of touch when you're in the dark. We all went different ways. My mum was a great believer in the spirit world. We had her service in the spirit church. Oh, I bet that was beautiful, that Katie. Do you know, she'd have loved that. She really would have. I would want to see you smiling with a Mackey's hot chocolate. And there you go, Bex. That's what you'll see. Thomas Edison's last words were, "It's very beautiful over there." Wow. I wonder how beautiful it is. But again, it's that energy field, isn't it? So it's hard to imagine what beauty could come within energy. But then I sit and I think, actually, I can imagine it. I can imagine what would come, what you could see when you're in energy. Because, to feel the energy, if you go sit in your garden, it doesn't matter where you go and sit, but go and sit somewhere outdoors and just close your eyes. And if you can sit outdoors and close your eyes and just feel with your senses, like, where's it gone in chat? I think we're at Cliff that put it in. No, I don't think it were. Somebody put something about where at Cliff? Right, well, Yolanda. It's all senses. It was Yo-Yo that put it in. Sorry, Yo-Yo. But for me, it's sort of like go outside and close your eyes. And if you can feel the warmth of, say, the sun on your face, that's an energy. That's your energy feeling. Obviously, the sun's there, but it's that energy sense. And it's to get more in to follow your own spiritual journey. You'll all follow your own paths. But we did this experiment in Spiritualist Centre the other week. So I'm going to use my e-cig and I'm going to use my e-juice. So this is me and this is Bex, let's say. This is Bex. The e-juice is Bex. So I'm now going to turn my back on Bex. So that's my back and this is Bex. And Bex very carefully had to walk slowly towards me. When she felt my energy change, Bex had to put her hand up. But when I felt Bex's energy change, I had to put my hand up like that. And Bex could have been this far away from me when I felt her in my energy field. Some people, they were this close. There is no right and wrong. It's learning to protect that energy field of yourself. And it's a really interesting thing to help work on, to work with your senses. I don't know whether anybody else has felt it, but like when you're, like when somebody like me, we're laughing about it, but people can get in your, are you one of these people that doesn't like people in your space? Like if you're sat down on a chair and somebody comes and sits next to you and they're more or less sitting on your lap, is that invading your space? Does your space like that or not? And this is where the energy thing is. This is where you feel comfortable around people. So around Yolanda, to be honest, I have to say I cuddle everybody. So even if you didn't like me, I would make a point to come and give you a cuddle just because I'm me. But that's just how I work. But yeah, there's that energy in there that people can get too close and you'd feel it. Oh, bless Katie. I think we all do, Sean. I've missed Sean's earlier question. But I see your souls not there. Look, do you know, Yolanda, that's a beautiful thing to see what's inside somebody and not judge on the outer appearance and just go by what's in the heart is a very rare form to you, I think, these days. I always wanted my dad to give me a sign. He's okay. He's been past 12 years now. A few years ago, I was driving, and when I glanced at the passenger seat, he was sat there only a split second, but it gave me such a peaceful feeling. And that was your dad's way of granting you the promise, of giving you the promise that he made to you, that if he could, he would. And to have that experience, Andrea, that's just like, again, it's a personal experience, and it doesn't matter what anybody thinks or how people go, oh, yeah, of course it will. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. That is your personal experience, and you know with your eyes what you saw. And to me, it's that it is such a peaceful feeling and such an amazing moment for you as well. That's strange. When my mum died, I sort of felt her step so close, almost inside me. Sounds weird, hard to explain, but felt very strange. So to me, Sean, for me, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'd want. I know my children, but they can feel my energy. And I think, some of us have got a very strong bond. And I think a parent and a child have a really strong bond. And I know dads have a strong bond with the kids, and I know moms have a strong bond with the kids. And it's not to do with you're close to the mom or close to the dad. I just think that if that bond is that much, it's like twins. Twins could be on opposite side of earth, but they'll know that something's not right with the other. And that's the bond that you can make with family. You can have that bond with friends. You don't have to be a twin to do it. But I think that's really weird. Sean, do you know when that happened? How did it make you feel? Did you feel a peaceful feeling with it? Did you feel an upset feeling, or did your energy just like, ooh, I've just felt my mom's energy? Do you know? Did it make you? How did it make you feel? If you don't mind me asking, there is an afterlife. My 35, I lost both parents to my best friends like that. Sean, there's definitely something there, my lovely. There's definitely an afterlife. I strongly believe that there's an afterlife. I strongly believe that we all will connect back with loved ones, very much so. I fucking hate it, especially in supermarkets. I loved it when we had COVID and people had to keep their distance. Exactly. So what is it when you can feel someone staring at you? So again, it's that energy. Somebody, to me, it's an energy. It's that energy field. It's like if somebody's staring at you, their energy, what they're pushing out, it's all the intent. So if I sat here and say, I don't know, Yolanda outside of me, and I were just constantly staring at Yolanda, I'd be pushing my energy out to let Yolanda know that I'm staring at her. And that to me is where I think that comes into it. So it's all still part of the energy field. The energy is an amazing thing, and how you can work your energy is even more amazing. I don't even think that I don't think certain people will be very in tune with their own energy. But there's so many of us out there that haven't even started to work on our energy field and what we can send out and what we can't send out. When, like, again, it's not a genuine subject, but so like when we say we're sending healing out, Sue at church, Sue talked about sending healing out, and they did it in they did like I think it was like a group chat thing that they all got together, and they all concentrated and sent healing out. This healing that they're sending out is energy. Energy can go. And Sue said, and she said it a couple of times, if everybody in the world at the same time sent their intent and pushed their energy out for peace, or for would it send the healing? Would we heal? We'll never find this out because we'll never get enough people around the world to sort of like do this at the same time. But what effect would that have on that everybody's energy will want in the same thing? It'd be amazing. It'd be amazing what, but at the minute, there's no way of doing it. But energy is very, very special, and it's very, very unique, and we all use it differently. So yeah, Hercules, I feel it's your own innate sense, a primitive way we need to protect us a skill we have lost. We've lost a lot of skills though, haven't we, Yo-Yo? We've lost a hell of a lot of skills. But now, oh, night, sweet dreams, Paul, my lovely. Hey, Tracy, I felt sort of cold and very overpowered. I said, please step back. Felt very strange. So maybe, Sean, I don't know if you're open to I don't know where your path is spiritually. I don't know whether you're open to communication. I don't know if you're empathic. I don't know. I don't know that information about you, but to have that overpowering feeling, to feel and to ask them to take it back and ask them to step back, then obviously you work on a spiritual level anyway. And that overpowering feeling, I think that would have been probably just pure love. And because we're not used to sensing pure love, I think that is a very overpowering emotion to process. But yeah, for me, I meant to say, when we left the hospital, we all left in different directions as our car. Oh, get what you mean. And our cars were all left in different car parks. When we left, we all left in different directions. Yeah, and you all, yeah. But again, it's amazing. Someone tall, dark, and handsome can stare at me all he wants, says Nanny Lynn. We'll find you somebody tall, dark, and handsome to stare at you, Nanny Lynn. Evening, Nina. Hope you're well, my lovely. Nanny Lynn, I'm shocked. Don't be shocked at what that woman comes at and says. I'll tell you. Is there any truth to the third eye blocked by calcium, and getting rid of calcium opens up the third eye, or is it just third eye? I believe that so the third eye for me is part of your chakras. So your chakras, we've got the crown. Your crown's somewhere up here. Then you've got your third eye. Then you've got your throat. You've got your heart. You've got your solar plex. You've got your sacral, and then you've got your grounding. So for me, for balance to be in your life and for you to feel balanced, all your chakras need to be aligned. Do I think that you need to work on your chakras to work with spirit? No, I don't. But that's my personal opinion. I just know that for me to on a spiritual level, I need my chakras balanced so I can have that communication. So I'm open to communication, because if I'm not balanced, then how could I communicate with anything if I haven't found that balance? So if I'm having a bad day, I'll cleanse me, I'll work with the chakras, but that's not on a spiritual level for me. That is just on a grounding level for me. When we go out investigating, I always ground myself. I always say a prayer before, and I always say a prayer afterwards. I don't use the word amen, because amen is not something. Amen to me is it's a religious word, is amen. So I changed that, and I've created my own little word that I say. Well, I've not created it. I just say a simple passage afterwards. And whether you say thank you, whether you say amen, it doesn't matter as long as the same intent is said. I've never heard calcium, anything with calcium on the third eye. But yes, for me, the third eye, the thing is, when you're working with spirit, you're working with your energies. And like I said, it's the energies that we no longer work with because we don't need to. Our energy, things have changed, over years. If you go back to before, I don't know, how life was before. Even though it was a struggle, life was simple. There weren't technology. There weren't anything that we've got today. Now we're bombarded with technology. Technology gives off energy that interferes with our energy. So way back in time, they didn't have all these different energy fields coming in and different. Is it electro? I don't know, but you know what I mean. Coming in, lifestyle has just so changed. People are so blasé now. Whereas though, I mean, look, taking it back to back to 70s, in the 70s, early 80s, when I was little, we walked out and every neighbour on that street knew you. They knew you. It was a community on a street. You're lucky now if you open your front door and you know 4 of your neighbours, because there's none of that. If there's kids playing outside and one falls down, nobody goes out to see if that kid's okay. It's like, we don't know him. We're strangers to them, and it's it's different things like that have changed the way we are, which then changes the way that we work with our own energy. And like Yolanda said, a lot of it is forgotten. We've all got, this is why we've all got it, but it's sort of like we've forgotten how to work with it and how to use it. Totally agree with that. My sister gave me a lot of healing, and I said a lot to my husband and family. I'm a psychic medium, and so is my sister. Oh, wow, Nina. But yeah, definitely on that one. Not sure if it's same day each year though. I have a strong bond with my son. The other weekend I was in an accident, and my friend, for some reason, he called me and asked if I was okay. He said he felt something was wrong. See, that is an energy connection. To me, that's an energy. That's an entwined of energy. That something sparked in his energy that thought, "Oh, I best phone my mum and make sure she's okay." I know Lorna's talked about this connection that she's had with one of Lorna's friends. She only had to think of him, and next minute he'd phone and he'd say, "Were you thinking of me?" And she'd be like, "Yeah." Do you know what I mean? Because it's an energy connection. And I think with certain people that we meet in life, our energies will connect like that, because I believe that to me, that's a soul connection. And these are very rare and hard to find, a soul connection. You can find your family. You've got your family, can be friends, anybody. It doesn't matter. Family's family, and but to have that special connection to a soul family, to me, that's what you need to feel like. What you've got with your son, it's that soul connection. It's that soul family connection. And that's only how I look at it. Obviously, you're going to hear different people talk about stuff like this, and they'll be very different opinionated to how I am. So just remember, this is just my opinion. But to me, that's what I would call a personally a soul connection. Hercules, I certainly would not recommend trying to get rid of calcium from your body. Your heart needs that to beat. Definitely does. Oh, thank Cliff's comments. Oh, sorry, Cliff, I've missed your comment. If you want to pop it back in, just save me going back up chat. Yolanda's so hard to explain. Same here, Joyce. I know when my daughter needs me, I sense that my phone is going to ring, and it's arcade. It happened a few times, totally. And some of you might find that it works more with one child than the other child. You might find it works with some friends more than other friends. It might find it works more with your mum than it does your dad. It might work more with your brother than your sister. There is no right, or there is no thing in it. It's like I said, to me, it's that soul connection. The woman next door feels so happy on one hand for the contact, but emotional feelings of memories can be quite overwhelming. Definitely. The woman next door has only ever spoke to us once to ask to borrow our phone to ring her partner because she lost hers. Exactly. But I bet you wouldn't even know a woman's name, really, or even a partner's name or a dog's name. I heard the new 5G cell towers can knock birds out of the sky. I don't know if that's true. Again, I think it's a myth. I think when 5G towers and everything, it's same as anything that comes new. With technology, there comes a price, and there is a price. There's a price to the atmospheric atmosphere kind of thing. So yeah, there is an effect. I don't think it's brought birds out of the sky. If it did, we've got 5G towers around us, and I've never seen a flock of birds dead. A lot of people again, it comes back into conspiracy theories. A lot of people said that while we were in lockdown, they were doing all these tests and blah, 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 because they were conspiracy theories. And conspiracy theories are good. Don't get me wrong. They are, because somewhere in it, there's a little bit of truth. But it's like a game of Chinese whispers and a lot of opinions of different people, which they don't like the opinions of anybody out of their circle, which I don't understand that, because you'd think they'd want them opinions coming in, but they don't. But yeah, I think that's more going down a conspiracy theory where the 5G towers were set up, though. That's my personal take on it. I miss community. Also, we don't talk as much in public. Do you know, Cliff, when do we talk now? Do you know? How sad is it that on Tell It Other Week, they were showing you an experiment that they'd done, and it showed you a young woman and a young man, but they did it separate, having I don't know whether it was a seizure or an attack, and nobody helped. Nobody helped. They stood, they looked, they took photos, and they walked off. How sad is it when we've come to a world where you don't even, or you won't go and help somebody that needs help? You know, it's so sad. In a way, I'm glad my nana and them don't go downtown anymore, because what if she fell? Who'd go rushing to her these days? Do you know? You might get one good soul still out there, a couple maybe, but people just continue. They're that busy. And some people don't even notice now, because their heads are that busy, or they've got the face to the phones, and they're walking with it, and they're oblivious to what's going off around them. And I think that's a really sad part, because again, on a spirituality level, you're blocking yourself constantly. Night, Kerry, my lovely. It's a constant block when you're using technology or constantly and all the time. There is a World Healing Day. That's what I meant when I said not sure if that's the same day. Oh, wow. Maybe on the World Healing Day, if people got together at the same time, maybe, I don't know, and put all the healing out, maybe that would, you don't know whether it's going to change anything. Personally, I think it would, but yeah, I agree with you. She was giving you a hug. Evening, Kelly. I think a lot is to do with years ago, people walked to shops, etc., because not everyone had a car. So you would meet and chat with neighbours. These days, everyone is driving and it's rushed. Don't you think life is a rush, though? Don't you think now you go out and everything's a rush? You're rushing, you get up in the morning, you're rushing to get kids to school. Once you've got, or rushing to get to work, you have your dinner breaks. Half of you spend time still at your desk. You don't even leave the building. You don't walk outside. You actually stay within the building to eat your dinner and your lunch. You might nip out if you've got doctor's appointments or dentist appointments, or to pick your kids up or grandkids up, whatever. But everything now is rush, rush, rush. Nobody actually can say they actually, on the dinner break, or not many of us could say on the dinner break that they'll go and, I don't know, sit in a garden surrounded by birds and feed birds. When was the last time anybody on here, truthfully, sat anywhere and just fed birds? Do you know, when was the last time? I couldn't even tell you the last time I did it, to be fair. But this is what I'm saying. Life gets in the way, and this is what affects people on a spiritual journey, because we forget, we stop doing the little things that we used to do. You know, everything with kids now that is done, it's all done with technology. When do you see now kids having fun on a birthday party, having picnics in a park? You don't. It's all got to be in these technical places, or all right, jungle manias for youngins, that's fair enough. But for like teenage ones, it's all about going to these shooting ranges, these paintballs, these or computer. Everything's all computers and stuff. It's just changing, and it's becoming a world that I don't think a lot of us are going to realize. I think for a lot it's happening, and it's happening that quick that we don't even realize what's happening. But on a spiritual level, we're all feeling it. We're all feeling it on that spiritual level. I have sent healing on World Healing Day. By God, the healing is so very powerful. So many all over the world send healing at once. Do you know, I think it's an amazing thing, Bex. I'll have to share that on post. I don't know if it's already happened or it's happening later in the year, but we'll definitely do something for that. We know his name, not hers though. He talks to us. Even when we caught and returned the dog, all she said was thanks and got him to come home and deal with it. Exactly. No neighbours. I can't stand my neighbours. I won't go around and get a cup of sugar off them. If they come round here and ask for a cup, I'd give them a cup of sugar, but I just don't like one-sided. And it's sad. It's sad because your neighbours really are the ones that watch over your home when you're not in. I mean, like I said, it's not too bad for us because everybody's cameraed up, so we're fine. But Say if we weren't cameraed up, who watches your home for you when you've gone? It used to be your neighbours. At one time, you could say to your neighbours, "Oh, I'm working all day. Can you nip next door and let dog out?" You wouldn't dare leave your key with some of your neighbours these days. You'd come home and all your contents would be gone. We sometimes share the same guide with close family members, sensing them is therefore more strongly linked. Evening, morning, afternoon, Laura. How are you, my lovely? I know my neighbour's dogs, but I don't know their name. See, pets we all know as animal names. Sometimes you meet someone and you just feel you've known them forever. You just bond so strong, so quickly. For me, it's when it was with my best mate. I only thought you'd get that with a wife. No, definitely not, Sean. Definitely not. I've met so many people, and so many people I feel connected to. Bex, when I met Bex, I felt like I'd known Bex for years. When I met Lorna, and I spoke to Lorna, within 2 minutes of speaking to Lorna, I instantly knew that me and Lorna had known each other prior to coming on. Again, with Claire, when Claire comes on, and Yolanda, Nanny Lynn, there's so many people that you've got a connection to. And it's different. Don't get me wrong, it's a different connection on different levels, but there is something that just, you can just feel it. And I think for some of us, but I think the one you're talking about, when like you, to me, it's a special bond that's formed. And for me, I'm going to say it's down to energy. It's down to you, Sean, at that moment, your energy has already met this energy prior in previous lifetimes, maybe. And the connection of the bond and the strongness that you formed in a previous life, I think this is that stronger bond that through life you'll always find each other. And it doesn't have to be a wife. It doesn't have to be. It could be an animal. It could be with the energy is energy. But to me, I think that that the strongly linked ones are definitely from past lives, where because you already know the energy. You've been friend. You feel that energy, that connection to them, and it's a very, very strong connection. It's amazing. Yes, Lindsay, I agree. It used to happen with me and my mum all the time, but it's now happening between me and my son now. That's good, Joyce. That's good. Could do soldier. Sad world we live in. It's a very sad world we live in now. Kate, it is. Sean, weird, isn't it? I met a lady at the spiritual centre I go to. I fell in love with her. I'm sure when we experience that, it's because we're connected previously. Yeah. Honestly, it saddens me when people don't care for those having complications or the elderly. I remember how surprised an elderly lady was when I offered to walk her to the correct bus stop. Do you know, Scott, you would have just made that lady's day, because there is not many young uns now that would do that. Do you know? I mean, I've met Scotty, and he is lovely. He really is, and his mum and dad. I know if I were his mom, I'd be very proud of how Scotty is. I really would. I mean, there's not much age difference between Scotty and my son. So technically, I could be Scotty's mom. But yeah, I mean, his mum and dad, you've done so proud, Scotty. You've done him so proud. Shouldn't have been. I said I went to Sandal Church the other week. I was able to talk to about 8 people who I did not know. I felt blessed. Do you know, Cliff, how nice is it when you can go? And I bet the thing you had in common, you started talking about probably maybe something to do with a castle, and then the conversation drifts off to other things as well. I think it's nice. We do need to do, but everybody needs to talk more instead of coming on and texting. I mean, it's nice to text, don't get me wrong. But it's in an idle way, because you can't be asked to phone somebody up. I'll just send them a text message because you can't be asked to phone. Basically, I mean, don't get me wrong, not all the time, but sometimes, because everybody's again, we're all busy. Life is busy, so we'll send a text message rather than think I'll just pick up phone and phone them. And in a text message, all you might put is, I don't know, you might put. Hey, how are you? Hope you're all right. Oh, I'm popping out this afternoon and I'm going to such and such. Or, hey, got doctor's appointment this afternoon. Hope you're okay. Do you know? And it's like such quick message, but you don't know what that other person that you send that message to, you don't know what that kind of day your friends just had or what kind of morning your friends had. And it's like you've just sent them a message and they could have been up all night for whatever reason. They might not have slept. They might have had a nightmare. They could have had panic attacks. They might just need a friend to talk to. And they get a text message, so they know that you're too busy to talk. So, you know, again, I think it's all of us. We all need to sort of like rethink things through, and maybe take a little bit more time and stop rushing about. We're missing so much as we're rushing. But like I said, things are just changing so fast around us because we're all rushing. And I think if everybody took that step back and slowed down, we'd notice the changes that are happening around us. And it's talking about again, going back to the spiritual changes around us and the lack of connection that we have now with each other. And it's sad. A few months ago, not because I was in Lake District on holiday. My partner came home from work at 4:15 a.m. on his scooter. He got knocked off his scooter by two lads on a bike. He dodged them, turned the bike around to try and get away from them. Another two guys turned up and another scooters, 4-on-1 on total, and they got his bike. Wow. Wow. Do you know, but has that happened recently then? Or is that something that's happened today, Kate? Is it something that's happened recently? How sad is that? You know, for in morning, early hours in morning, and you've got kids out on bikes, and you know, it's just so sad. Like I said, what's happening in this world. It's weird when you can just look at someone and take an instant dislike when you don't even know them. And again, maybe your energies have crossed in the past shown, and it's like, I know you. And if you notice, a lot of people that you don't like your back. So it's like your energies have crossed paths, and maybe with the cross paths, it's sort of like, you know. So we've got the energies of those that we feel like we've met. We've also got the ones that energies of them. But I think sometimes as well, where we get that energy from, where you think, I don't like that person. Again, I think people sometimes push that energy out because they're suffering inside, and they can come off as a really bitch or a total twat. And when you actually get from behind this wall of energy that they've built up, when you actually get behind, they're not as bad as what they seemed, but they've sort of like been through so much that the walls are up. So you've got to be careful with people, and you know, you've got to really listen to your gut feeling. Listen, do you know, your gut feeling is the one thing that will always be honest with you, is that gut feeling. Probably no, but I wish we all lived closer. I love my friends. I know, Nanny Lynn. It's a shame that we don't live close. But then if we didn't live close, we wouldn't have these kind of conversations. And I know it's online and I know everybody's in chat chatting, but it's still, again, but it's a technology way, isn't it? It's a technology way, which is, again, it's a sad thing that it has to happen. But see, so again, is you get your good and bad. So the good thing about technology now is we can do this. We can all be in one room. We can either do Zoom. You can do Zoom where everybody comes on and everybody's got a voice and you can speak. You can do this where people can join you on screen. They can chat in chat, and everybody can speak. Still not exactly the same as meeting each other. But I would say this is one positive that comes out of it. I'm very lonely without my friends around me. It is, Nanny Lynn. It is lonely when you're friends. And we've all gone through it these past couple of years. Everybody in this chat room, not one of you can say that you haven't suffered or felt lonely at some point in the last 3 years with everything that's gone off, the separations from families, the not seeing loved ones, the everything just changed. And I think in that time, for a lot of us, I think it made us all think more about family, more about what we need in life, and really how much when it comes to a time like that, what did money solve? Money didn't solve. Money couldn't buy your happiness at that time because you were locked down. So you could have all money in the world and you still couldn't have done jack shit with all that money. So does money really matter if you've got enough to get by with? Is money a big factor in your life, really? Because for 2.5 years you couldn't do anything with it. You had then to start doing family things. How many families have started though from that lockdown being families again? I mean, I know it caused a lot of splits as well, but I mean, there were good and bad from out of it. But we've got to look at taking. There was so much negative in that we have to look at taking the positive from it, because otherwise, again, your energy is going to be affected by the negative energy, and that's not what anybody wants. You always need the positive. When did it happen, Kate? When did it happen? You're very worried about him. When did it happen, Kate? Have I missed that? I'm very fortunate to say my hubby is my true soulmate. And I thought my first husband was, but when I met my second hubby, there was something I just can't explain. I just know I had to be with him, even though I was with the first hubby for 18 years. We are like one person. And that is, that everybody, they always say we've got soulmates. They always say, they talk about soulmates. And I think it's just amazing when you've got that link in with somebody, and that strong bond that you've got, the fact that he knows your thoughts before you've even said it. I could be sat out to tea and John will automatically know something I'm thinking before a word has even come out of my mouth. It's just so nice to know that the soulmates we might not even meet a soulmate in this lifetime. Some of us are lucky enough to meet a soulmate in every life. Some of us might not meet a soulmate until could be 10 lifetimes from now, but you will find love, but you won't find that soulmate connection. Some find the soulmate and lose them because they find them too young, and it's not something that the energy there is just too much. So you might find a soulmate when you're younger, and you might lose them halfway through because life just thing. But we all end up with the people that we're meant to be with. I think in this lifetime we all end up with the people we're supposed to be with. Taboo, thank you. I rang my friend 2 hours and 50 minutes tonight. Is that how long you were on phone, Bex? You're a talker, you. It is good to talk. It's good to talk. It is. Yes, on the 10th of March, love. Oh, wow. So it weren't that long ago. Is he still suffering, Kate? Is it affecting how he is in himself? Lindsay, I appreciate all the text messages that you send me, and thank you so much. I care about you all. I care about all of you. Everybody that comes on, I care about you, even if they only come on for once and then bugger off and don't ever come back. It's just that's just how I am. I do feel we are in a very sad place at the moment. The world seems a very sad, dark place. So that's how you feel. So what positives can you pull then, Sean, that's happening around you? What positives can you pull? And as dark as it is, look for the positives that you can pull. I want you to put me some positives in what you think is positive in this world at the minute. Pull me some positives out of the negatives, because there's always positives, and they're the ones that we have to focus on, no matter how dark and no matter how it feels that there is no light, that there is no end. It's look, I'm in a dark room, but we've got a light on over that side. Look. And that's how I look at life. It doesn't matter how dark it gets. There's always a positive there's always that positive, and I have to find them positives. I've been in some very dark places within my life, and it's hard to talk about. But you do have the help to get you out of it. but you have to do it yourself. Nobody else can do it for you. Nobody else has got that magic pill, that magic wand. It's you that, and your energy, that you have to build your energy up to do things, and it's the energy around you that can pick you up. So use your energy, use the tools that we've been given. Okay, who remembers Buzzbait on the BT ads? Wow, I haven't seen him for a long time. Gut feeling, bless him. See, your gut feelings, and you know, sometimes in hindsight you think, God, I should have listened to my gut feeling, and we don't. And there's something to be taken out of that as well. But I do hope that he's not suffering too much, and I do hope that if he is feeling anxious or it's bothered him on that sense, I do hope that he does seek the help, because there is help there for him. And for you, because I'll tell you something, when something like that happens, the fear goes into everybody, because you think it could happen to me. It's not nice. That's when live chats help, but it's just getting them on. Live chat help. Yes, I do think live chat, if we're talking about like when things go dark, live chats are really good. I think it's really good when you can find a safe place to come and talk and open up and just say what you can and have other people there. I mean, do you know, and I'll say this all the time, and I know there's other groups out there and other chats like we've got, but I absolutely love how a community that we've built, where we know each other on a level of knowing each other, but it's also safe. It's a safe place for everybody to chat, because we don't stand for any of the drama. We don't stand for talking about other people. We don't have that in this. Don't get me wrong, you can all have a chunter about somebody, and that's not a problem, but you guys know what I'm meaning. But I just think that this community that we've got here, it's just brought us all together. We've all gone through dark times. We've all gone through where we've hit rock bottom at some point, and we're all here to support each other. And it doesn't matter what you've been through. Nobody can understand. Nobody will 100% say, I totally understand where you are, because we can't. We physically don't walk in each other's shoes. But what you can do is you can have the empathy to understand where people are and what they've been through, and just be there for them. And that's what I take away with this. Our chats are, and how this page is. I just think it's absolutely amazing, and it's thanks to you guys that do it. Loneliness is wicked. It is. Andrea Moore and a Busby projector, where you could project him onto the wall, but of course I'm not old enough to. Bex, wow, bleeding Busby. Oh, I'm gonna YouTube Busby after this and see if I can find stuff out. And I mean wicked in the traditional sense, not the trendy Michael Jackson sense. 10th of March at 4:15 a.m. Wow. No, don't suffer with that on your own, Kate. My inbox is always open for you to chat to. And I know there's other people in here. About my soulmate is still alive. I mean, yeah. No, I know. But the fear, Kate, the fear can get to us sometimes. And like you said, the bike's immaterial. It's not about the bike. It's about the situation itself. I totally understand that. But yeah, just make sure. Like I said, my chat's open. Sweet dreams, Bex, my lovely. The chat tonight and other chats help people comment, which is great. It is, Cliff. It definitely is. Sending hugs and healing. Yeah, he's not well. Well, if he's got an infection, he's coughing up blood at the minute. If he's coughing up blood, sweets, I'd ring doctors. I'd do emergency services. That 101, is it? 111, I don't know. Give them a ring and just let him know, because if he's coughing blood up, obviously, if he's got an infection, it still might, even though you've been to your GP during the day and he's been given tablets, it could be the tablets that could be affecting. But yeah, I'm with Cliff on this one. Phone 111 just to make sure he's okay, sweets. like I say, it might be it could be something to do with the medication he's on. It could be to do with his cough too much, and like your throat can bleed from when you're coughing too much. But always get it checked out, my lovely. My partner didn't get killed that night. I'm so happy he got to wake up another day, and that's how you have to look at it, my lovely. That's how you have to look at it. Lindsay, you are a chosen angel. Someone said that, Cliff. Someone said that. Thank you so much. You're so kind. I'm worried about it. I know you're worried. We're sending him healing. But again, like I said, just make sure you message me if you need to, sweets. Called me and says couldn't get an appointment. Wow. Yeah, phone emergency services back and tell them you need an appointment ASAP, and take no shit, Kate. Take no shit. Our sweet dreams, Sean, my lovely. Much love to you, my love. I'm very worried about my young friend, Red. I had a dream on Sunday that took his own life. 19, and found out yesterday that his dog died. Wow. Have you the only thing you can do, Laura, is reach out to him or reach out to her, and just let him know that you're there. Yeah, I'm with Cliff. 111. Don't get an answer. Then 999. Definitely. I'd just phone 999 if I were to be honest. If I were you, Laura, reach out, see if there's other people around you that can also help you to reach out to this person, to this friend. Obviously, losing a dog, it's like losing a child, because it's just people. Oh, we've got mobile phone paranormal on. We know who it is. But yeah, it's like, if I were you, Laura, what I'd do is I would get together with a couple of friends, ring round some now when we finish live, or while we're on live, message them and just say that you're worried. Don't sit on it, because obviously you're worried for a reason. You've had a dream for a reason. So maybe rallying round and getting others. Obviously, they're going to be in a dark space, because if they're already suffering and then they they've got a loss, it enhances that. If you think there is going to be more serious, see if there's family members that you could reach out to. Sometimes it's difficult, because they can say they're all right, and then next minute you can get the phone call that you're dreading. But just knowing that you're all there and that you care is all that you can do. And just let him know that he's not that they're not on their own. He or she, that they're not on their own. Like I said, it's difficult, and it's such a horrible place. Do you know? I don't know. Oh dear. 2 months ago, he lost his dog Candy 17 years, and now Bruno. Do you know, Lorna, it's just reach out to him. Don't just do it on your own. Make sure you've got other people. So maybe somebody can give him a ring in the morning, somebody check on him in the afternoon. Just let him know that you're there. I think that's all we can do. Because again, night Nanny Lynn. Because again, I know, and this is. We all have to take responsibility for ourselves, and we all need the support of others around us. For some people, those choices or decisions that they make can leave others around us feeling like these answers that things were left unresolved, or they can leave us, and what they leave behind can be it can be difficult for everybody that's left behind. But just knowing that you've been there, and like Cliff says, you've stayed strong for him, and that there is help out there that you can reach out for. By knowing that you've done all you can, you have no you should feel no guilt back on you. And that's the worst case scenario I'm talking about here now, not with you, Laura, just with people in general. I think that the mind is a very, very dangerous place, because when we're on a high, we're on a high. When we're on a low, we're on a low. I think that some people, like me, you're either high or low. There's no like middle. There's never a middle with me. If I'm happy, I'm happy. If I'm sad, I'm sad. And there's no middle. And I think for a lot of people, more so now things are coming out, that ground is like that there is no middle ground for them. And the mind can play nasty tricks on us as own guilt for things that we feel can play tricks on us. And when we're down, it's just horrible. But just by knowing that there's somebody there is enough to help somebody else, I think. He's all the way in South Africa, and his sisters, the soap girls, just left before their will talk on the same day. Bless him. Then, if you know his sister, Laura, on a personal note, if you know his sister, then maybe by messaging his sister and just making sure that there is family members around him that are there for him. And like I said, just letting him know that you're there for him will be, you're doing you're doing all you can do. Like I said, the Cliff's put it in, there is help out there. But sometimes we can't be forced into taking them. We have to make them steps as self to make them small changes. So it is difficult. But yeah. So yes, so the spiritual path then. So seeking the truth, try contacting them or other family. Yeah. Afterlife journey. Why are you not helping Simon, Lindsay? You are great at giving information for $1 though, my love. I will give you that. Why do I need to help Simon? Simon's fine. We're friends with Simon. I don't see why that's a big deal to anybody. And not as for not helping Simon. Why? If it's to do with Simon's drinking, then Simon's an adult. I can't turn around and say I'm going to take your drink away from you. There's definitely somebody bored tonight in the Scotty, and looking at timing and everything else. It's like, you know who it is, don't you? But yeah, what is the truth? What is the truth? The truth or your truth? This is very true, Joe, isn't it? Do you know? The truth or your truth? What is the truth? Do you know, it's same as we always said, you know, like when there's an argument or like you see things kicking off on no one even's donated to this stream, so how are you in for the dollars? Shows how intelligent they are. Definitely does, Scots. It definitely does. But I've lost my train of thought now. So say you've got an argument going on. They do make their own choices, Nina. They do. So say you've got an argument going on. So I'm going to use me and John as a scenario because we never argue. But we don't argue, if that makes sense. It's more of a grunt and a groan. So you've got my story, you've got John's story, and then you've got what's in the middle. And this is where nobody sees it when people are arguing. People listen to my story, who are friends with me. People listen to John's story, who are friends with him. John's friends may turn around and say, oh, she's a bitch, you need to leave her, blah, 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 blah. My friends might say, he's a twat, you need to leave him, blah, 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 blah. But then there's the truth in the middle. And I won't tell my friends or my family what I did to cause this argument or what I said, do you know? And John won't tell his friends or family. So you always remember, whenever there's drama, there's the truth, there's their truth, there's your truth, and then there's the truth in the middle. And it's trying to work out the truth in the middle. And once you can work out the truth in the middle, that's the best path to go down. Never get involved. I've learned that a long time ago. Never get involved in drama, because getting involved in the drama just makes you part of it. And that's one thing you never want to be, is part of somebody else's drama, because it's just not worth it. Laura, can you please show your claps? It sounds like you're shouting, Laura. I don't think Laura will know that on capital letters when you type in capitals. I've not said anything. But yeah, please let the family know. They may be able to help, definitely. Everyone has their problems. All you can do is be kind. You do. Should never judge a book by its cover, and you've never walked in anybody else's shoes. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm in need of new glasses. That's okay, Laura. I wouldn't have said anything. But we have. And again, some of us, a lie gets halfway around the world before the truth gets its shoes on. What a good one, that one. I like that, Ekibis. I like that one. That's really... that's a really, really good one to put up, that actually. That is so very true. But yeah, it's strange though. I mean, again, for some people, you can bring it back to on that spiritual thing. Again, them different paths people take. Some people who claim to be spiritual aren't spiritual, and then you've got others that say they're not spiritual, but yet they're more spiritual than a spiritual person. So it's funny how it is. But yes, so seeking the truth. Who knows if we will ever find the truth on the afterlife? Whether one day we will be able to sit down with scientific tools, maybe, or somebody can invent something that's going to be kosher. Because a lot of things that are used within the paranormal are just tools. That's all they are. They are just Bex, I'll just tell you what Bex has put me in a minute. A lot of I forgot what I was saying now, because Bex has thrown me off by messaging me. Bex, I'm gonna shout at you. Go on, what were I saying? I don't know. So Bex has just messaged, World Healing Day is Saturday the 30th of April. So that's going to be World Healing Day. So what I might do it, how am I going to do it? Because I don't want to do it on main. Do we do it on main page though? We could do a World Healing Day on main page and have some healing. Did you try asking for proof of the paranormal before going to sleep? I always ask for proof of the paranormal. That were it, weren't I? About scientists, so maybe it's scientists, and like again, the tools that we use when we go investigating, all the tools we use are used for different things in life, obviously, but it's interesting how energy interacts with the tools we've done, because the energy shouldn't do that with certain tools, with certain pieces of equipment that we use. Energy should not interact with them. It's physically impossible for energy to interact with them in the way that it does. So it makes for a really, really interesting wow. That's where it gets for me. I know somebody in the paranormal field who is a tool. I think we know a few, don't we, Soldier? Me told Soldier, well, that tool has another tool that tacks along with them a lot. So 2 tools, maybe 4 or 5 tools either. Did you ever watch that Tool Academy? If you never saw that on telly, you need to go on and you need to watch Tool Academy. There's UK Tool Academy and there is American Tool Academy. It is one of the most funniest things you will ever see. And these men and women are tools. It's one of the funniest things that you'll ever see. 90 minutes even. There's a good film on Netflix at the moment called 90 Minutes in Heaven, I do believe. That's a good one. Oh, I'll have a look for that one, Joe. I will have a look. I've just started watching Peaky Blinders, but I've gone to watch episode 6, series 6, and the episode isn't bloody on. So I'm going to have to wait for that one. I bet they've watched Tool Academy. They're pretty good at being tools. Just a little bit, Scots, just a little bit. Not got better things to do, though, have they? But yeah. So, like I said, just be careful when you're out and about. Listen to your energy on your body. Listen to what listen to what those little hairs on your body stand up when they stand up. They're trying to let you know that there's a change in the energy, there's a change in temperature, there's a change in something. Your hairs don't just stand up unless you're rubbing a balloon up and down your arm, and then you can do that with your balloon. So yeah, what is the truth? We'll have to find out, Joe. We're going to have to wait and see what happens. And find out whether we will ever know the truth, or whether we will always be left asking questions and asking for more and more information. It's like I once said, if we were on a paranormal investigation, and I could sit down with a spirit for 5 minutes, I would always want more. That wouldn't be enough proof for me. I would want to know more. I would want to have more information. And I do agree with, like Nanny Lynn said earlier, I don't think we're supposed to have all that information. Don't forget, information is power. And if you've got information, that's power. And to a place such as where we go when we cross over, that's gonna be power, very powerful to have that knowledge of what's actually over there. Because again, I think having that knowledge could affect so many people's lives on this side. I don't think we'd ever really. I think I don't know who else put it in chat, but they said it's information that you'll only know once you cross over. And I honestly do believe that. Night, soldier, sweet dreams, my lovely. But yeah, I honestly do believe that that's going to be something that we find out when we cross over ourselves, because I think it's too bigger information for us to handle at the minute. Maybe in years to come, when life isn't as shit on Earth, or shit in the living realm, as we call it, maybe then the next generations coming up will be more open, and maybe go back to some old ways. I hope they do. I hope they do, because this life that we're all living now, it's not a healthy lifestyle, is it? And I don't mean by eating apples and pears every day is healthier, but you know what I'm saying. Joe, I just don't know your definition of secret, but that fact doesn't fit my definition of secret anymore. Truth is, Tom Hardy is my secret ghost. Hey, you and Tom Hardy. I've been watching Tom Hardy tonight. Yes. I'm hoping that he's in episode 6. But we shall see. The 5 a day job, exactly, Joe, the 5 a day job. But yeah, so I'm gonna say thank you for watching, and I hope you all take care. Please try that social experiment on turning the opposite way, let somebody walk up and see if you can feel when they come into your energy. It is an amazing thing to try. And it doesn't matter if this person gets right up on you. It just means that you need to work more on the energy around you. Another good one, Lindsay. Facts and truth don't care about your feelings. They don't irk your base at all. They don't. Facts and truth don't care about his feelings whatsoever. But I just want to say thank you to everybody for joining me tonight. We will be live tomorrow. The ladies chit chat late live. I think it'll be around about 11ish. I think tomorrow we've got the last spiritual I keep calling it a bloody church center, spiritual center tomorrow night. So we've got the last one tomorrow. We're doing encaustic art. I didn't call it by what I normally say. We're doing encaustic artwork tomorrow. So yeah, we should be home for about 10:30ish, I think. So we'll be live around about 11 o'clock again. So thanks everybody for joining. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's little chitty chatty kind of late chat, and we shall see you all soon. Mwah. Much love. Thank you so much, and thank you to my 18 love you moderators, and take care, guys. See you soon. Bye. Toodle pips.